the beautiful novel Concubine, written by Alachi Amadi. It's the novel, a very interesting novel. So now we've gotten to a point from chapter 1. We have seen Emenike and Maduma confrontation, and eventually it ended into a fight. Now we've reached a point where Emenike is sick, and his wife Ihoma is looking after him. Like I asked before, I asked the question, I'm asking this question again. So what caused this fight? Why was Emenike and Madume fighting in the first place? What was, the reason for this conflict, so to say? So this is what we'll discuss today. What was this conflict all about? How did it start? Okay, so again, what we've been discussing the character traits of Maduma. We know his age. We know that he's in his early 30s, and most importantly, we know that he's not a hard-working man. And again, we know that there's something that we know about Maduma. And to say the least, this gentleman was really not liked in the village. And from chapter 2 now, on page 4, the last paragraph, get to know why is this so? Why did not the villagers like Madume? So let's continue reading our novel. Madume had one fault most villagers disliked. Madume had one fault most villagers disliked. What was this thing that his fellow villagers did not like about him? He was very big-eyed. That is to say, he was never satisfied with his share in anything that was good. So this gentleman, he never gets satisfied with good things. He always wanting more. He would row until he had something more than his companions' shares. Consequently, he was always quarreling over land, palm wine trees, plantain trees, and other such things. That was how he came to quarrel with Emenike. Now we understand where the conflict is coming from. Where is this conflict coming from? After we know the characteristics of Madume, he was always quarreling with people, always quarreling over land, over palm wine trees. So it could be one of the reasons why in the first chapter he was quarreling with Emenike. Let's find out, maybe there are more reasons why the villagers did not like him. But he had other reasons for not liking Emenike. What was the reason now? The conflict between Emenike and Madume. Why was this conflict between the two characters in this novel? The old man always cited Emenike as the ideal young man. He was good looking and well formed, a favorite with the girls. He was just an average wrestler, but he had the devil's luck of throwing people in spectacular ways, which onlookers remembered long afterwards. So again, we see the bit of jealousy. So Emenike was a favorite in that village. He was a favorite with girls. He was not from time to time used to overthrow strong wrestlers. So probably this is one of the reasons why he did not like Emenike, because of these things that you've just described now. So even now, you can, as sort of just prompt in your mind, you can ask some questions. You can quote this. Why was the conflict between Emenike and Madume? As a question for you. And these are the answers that you provide. No, the spark that was there. Let's continue. He had on the old man's confidence. This is Emenike. And they were always let him learn errands that required intelligence and the extensive use of proverbs. So again, we are looking at the characteristics, traits of Emenike. So he was a man that uses proverbs. He was a man of intelligence. Perhaps Madume's hatred for Emenike might not have been so great if only the latter had not snatched humor from him. Now, here is the climax of the dislike, so to say. Maybe Maduma wanted to marry the lady Emenike married. And here is the reason. Maduma had hopes of marrying Ihuma, then the most desirable girl in Omingwe village. Neither Ihuma nor her parents had been keen on the match, but Madume overlooked this fact when later Emenike married Ihuma and blamed him wholly for his loss of the girl he wanted. Now we get to a point, now we understand why the quarrel, why the fight. It was because of Ihuma. Again, the same question we asked. What was the conflict between Maduma and Emenike that ended up, in a fight? What was the spark? What was the conflict? It was very easy for him to pick quarrels with Emenike because many events called for a degree of intimacy between the villages. Take the sharing of meat after a general village aunt. Madume would always argue that Emenike had not been particularly active in the killing of a particular animal, and so deserved only a fraction of what the old man actually gave him. But Emenike was not afraid of him. He knew he could hold his own against him any day, given a fair chance. But a man's God may be away on a journey on the day of an important fight, and that may make all the difference. This was clearly what had happened in the last fight between Madume and Emenike. Very important proverbial statement here. The gods might be away on the day that Madume and Emenike fought. And this is so. Why am I emphasizing on this? Okay? That maybe that day, Emenike's God was far away. So what are some of the consequences that we may suffer? So to see, again, we're going to see answers to this. Why this proverbial statement that a man's God may be away on a journey on the day of important fight. Did this happen? If it did, what were the consequences? Thank you for continuing subscribing to our channel, Learning English with Chola. This is the first set book that we are looking at. Next, we may look at A River Between by Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Have a good day, a good evening, depending where you're watching us from. Thank you and shalom.